Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. I am on the Craven Gap Trail in the Blue Ridge Mountains. You can see I'm putting on gloves because it's a little bit nippy out here. So I've all layered up, and there's my blaze to start the trail. There are a lot of trees down across the trail, and so I'm going to be careful because at our age we need to be careful. But this is my chosen 1 mile walk for the day, and so I am at 3,000 feet elevation at this Craven Gap Trail, in case I didn't mention that. And I didn't realize when I chose it, because I just chose a nature trail near me, that I would be in the Blue Ridge Mountains hiking. This is unbelievable. So, and luckily I ran into a couple who were going back to their car when I parked my car, and I said, "Where's the start of the trail?" Because it's really hard to see. And all the reviews about this trail said that there were a lot of logs down across the trail, and as you can see, they have cut them so that they've somewhat opened up the trail, but a lot of trees have fallen across this trail. And someone said that the whole trail seems uphill. You can see all the cut big huge logs. I tell you, my burn barrel is watering at the mouth seeing all this. Not that I would take it from a mountain and burn it in my burn barrel, but my dream would be to have big old logs like this to burn in my backyard. All the ashes that I would get for the garden would be unbelievable. And there's even more trees. But we are going to keep walking because I have to meet some friends later today. And so what I wanted to do before I forget is to hug a tree, because I've forgotten the last couple of days that I've been out here. And so let's see if we can turn this camera around and get me hugging a tree. So there we go. And we hope that that works, viewing me hugging a tree. But we will see when the final video comes out. Because you know there's no editing here. So either you saw me hug the tree or you didn't. Well, I had an alarm go off that shut off my video, and that was disappointing. And so that means this is going to be at least a 2 or 3 part mile walk video up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So let's keep walking. Hopefully the video showed me hugging a tree in the first part, but we will figure that out later. But for now, we are just going to walk and get in our 1 mile walk for the day. And hopefully no more phone alarms to go off on this walk. How beautiful of a life is this that I'm now walking, and this all started in 2026. Actually, it all started in April, of me walking nature trails and going to parks. This is really a great retirement thing to do, is to go and look up parks or nature trails near me. and come out and commune with nature. I mean, I have seen more beauty in April than I've probably seen in quite a bit of my 6 years of retirement. And so, look at that tree above the trail. So apparently there has been a lot down here. So, and as you can see, it's a bit rocky. So we are just watching our step and taking it easy. We are not in a rush. So today's topic is something that just came up this morning, which is my HSA, my health savings account. The other day, I was watching a YouTube channel, the Kronson family. So I believe it's Coast Fire with the Kronson family. I'll put a link to it in the show notes of this video. But anyway, Cathy, who is going to retire early and stay home with her daughter, was talking about moving her HSA to Fidelity. And it reminded me that I needed to move my HSA to Fidelity. And so I called Fidelity the other day, and they were so helpful. They helped me do all the stuff. It only took a few minutes to move my HSA from my provider to Fidelity. And the reason for that is that at a certain point, I can't put any more money in my HSA, because once you get on Medicare, you can't put any more money in an HSA. And my HSA provider was going to charge me some outrageous monthly fee just to keep the HSA with them. And I wasn't sure if I could move it to Fidelity, so I called them on the phone. Old guy here had to speak to a human being on the phone. And the nice lady not only said I could move it, but she said, I will help you step by step. See, now that's when you know you're old. When you need a human being to walk you step by step through the process. And she did. And so we did all the stuff to move my HSA, but because I hadn't had a Fidelity account in many, many years, we had to make sure that my account was still active. And so we did that. But here's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about this morning. I did not have a beneficiary on my new Fidelity HSA. And so I did that this morning because I just realized it last night. And I did not want to put it off for any length of time and forget to have a beneficiary on my HSA. Now, the other thing that I was wondering is, as you know, with a health savings account, you invest the money and you save your receipts for any medical expenses. And I've been paying medical expenses out of pocket since at least 2022. I think that I've had the HSA longer. I just maybe didn't have any medical expenses. Anyway, I was wondering if you can still save receipts even after you can no longer contribute to your HSA. Because what happens is that as the stock market goes up and the money is invested, the HSA grows. And what I found out this morning, and this is really this whole long story, this is what I wanted to share, is that you can still save receipts even after you can no longer contribute to the HSA. So right now I have over $30,000 in the HSA, and it's of course invested very aggressively because I don't ever intend on cashing it in. I just want it to grow forever over the long haul. And so my HSA, I will still save receipts. So as the account grows in the stock market, my beneficiary will be able to use all of my receipts to cash in my HSA tax-free, because the account, as long as you have those receipts for medical expenses, then you could use that money 100% tax-free. You can withdraw the money 100% tax-free. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm setting up my beneficiary to have, let's say it grows to 50,000 or 100,000. That'll be 100,000 tax-free, because I am saving all my receipts for the rest of my life. And I'll just pay all of my medical expenses out of pocket and save the receipts. And this covers dental. I need to make sure I mention that, because as a retired federal employee, I have very little, if any, dental coverage. And so when I go to the dentist, I just pay out of pocket. And that is getting expensive the older I get. However, I would rather have that money grow tax-free.